Hello, Scrappy Peeps. Suzanna here today for Ellie's Studio, and I'm sharing with you this grid layout using the June kit. So I was in Norway recently, and we happened to be there for National Day, and I had a lot of pictures, and I really liked that digital cut file. You can see the letters that are fun there, and so I wanted to incorporate a bunch of pictures. So I made myself my own sort of template. It's kind of like what Simple Stories has, and so I just used my silhouette to cut out a bunch of squares around the outside, knowing that my title and my pocket were going to go in the center, and you'll see what I mean about pocket. So I sized and edited a bunch of pictures to I think these are 2.5 by 2.5, but I printed them slightly larger, so they're 2 3/4, knowing that the opening was 2.5, so that I could have some room, obviously, to anchor them. And so I am going to use a combination here of 1/4-inch tape and 1/8-inch double-sided tape from ThermoWeb. I love that it's easy to tear, so that you don't have to get your scissors out like red line tape. And so I'm going to put that all along the outer side of each of these squares so that I can adhere either a photo or a piece of the pocket card or a piece of pattern paper. I'm not sure at this point what's going to go where the photos aren't, but you can see I laid out where the photos were going to go. I also tried to find a selection of photos in the way that I resize them where I could overlap elements over the photo so that the photo wasn't all critical to be shown through the box. Because I find if you don't overlap elements in a grid layout, that it does look very boxy. So by overlapping lines over photos, things that connect one photo to the other, it breaks that rigidity of the box. So I am going to spend an incredibly long time putting this down, but really it is the best way to secure your pictures there. So just things to keep in mind if you are working on a grid layout, that you want to print your pictures so that the border is slightly larger than the photo that you actually want to see, so that it pokes through the window there. Or like that photo there where my face is somewhat cut off, I would have liked to have seen my ear or a little bit of my ear. No big deal, so that you're okay with those kinds of things. And so now I am putting the pictures where I had predetermined that they were going to go, and then it is free reign for what is going to go into the rest of those boxes, because truly I have no idea. I have pulled all of the red, white, and blue elements, and if those of you who have followed my LA studio work, I think this is my 3rd year on the team. I really love when Ellie puts red, white, and blue, or when she does 4th of July, because red, white, and blue is a color that I use a lot in my layouts, not just for 4th of July. And so as you can see here, this is Norwegian National Day. So very similar or same color palettes, right, to what we use here in the US. So I love this card with the stars because it has already given me shape that's within my layout. And yes, it says 1, 2, 3, 4, but I am not bound by having to have lists in the 1, 2, 3, 4. I will just write in that space and just have the numbers be what they are, and I'm perfectly fine with that. I used to, once upon a time, feel constricted by that, but I don't anymore, because I love these cards, and I love the way that the stars add to the celebratory feel in the layout, so I'm not going to worry about it. So you can see how I'm cutting down each of these cards, and I'm trying to find balance so that there is blue that emphasizes the blue in the sky, but I also want red in there too, so that the red emphasizes the red that's in the pictures as well. So even though I have a white square center there, and I want contrast behind this, so I'm going to use one of the dies that is a metal add-on, It's the metal, sorry, I'll take that back. pocket tabbed metal die. And I know I want that in white so that I have this red that really pops against it, but I want some color, there we go, for contrast behind that. So I'm going to use the die exactly as it is. I published on one of my reels about a week ago how you can use the die and cut it down so that if you want a picture or a piece of pattern paper that's a different size, how you just slide the paper over the die in order to get a different size. So be sure to check my reels out for that. So you have two really cool sizes here, but you can get more variation out of these dies by amending how you use the paper there. So very precisely, I'm just going to put a fold there and use that fold as my guide as to where I'm going to cut that piece of blue paper. And I love the way that that is going to pop what is going to become a tip back for some hidden journaling. And actually currently all of my journaling is on the page itself. And so the tip back isn't serving a functional purpose currently. However, I did pick up a ton of memorabilia on this trip, and I am certain that once I sift through that, I will be able to put something inside there as well, tickets or tram tickets because we rode the train that day, something along those lines. So I'm going to I have 1/8 inch tape at the bottom there, and I'm going to trim it down just a little bit so I have a nice blue border on either side and adhere that to the center there. And my title is going to go in the center. So those letters, fun, those are part of the digital cut file that came, or that if you are a subscriber, you get for free. Otherwise, you could purchase. And I know that I'm going to use the letters, the Puffy stickers, the Jane Alphas. I love that there have been tons of new colors that have come out lately. So the color of these are, I believe these are sky blue, blue sky blue. Let's go with sky blue. They are the sky blue Puffy Alphas. And so I'm going to use those above fun that says National Day Fun. But I want to put a little bit more fun in there first. So I'm going to break out my stamps. And then there is a die that accompanies them. So this month you have the outlined stars stamps, as well as the outline stars metal die that coordinates with them. So I'm going to use those to add a few more stars and the bursts, like that burst right there that I'm cutting off, that look kind of like fireworks. So while we did not see fireworks, I don't know that that is part of what they do in Norway for their National Day. I did like the celebratory feel that it gave, and it kind of was a different variety of star. So I'm going to, get these out and add a little bit more pizzazz to it. And again, I have these elements that I know I want to put in. They're going to be the stars that are going to cross the borders here to break up the grid. So I'm using some Distress Oxide inks and I'm going to stamp it in multiple colors. I have not used the stamps before, so you can see I'm kind of priming the stamp by just sticking it multiple times on the back of my skin there. The other thing that you can do is stamp it with an archival ink, and that sort of breaks the stamp in nicely as well. But I just I either rub it with an eraser or just tap it on the back of my skin there so that the oils kind of impregnate the stamp and make sure that it stamps clean, a solid, what is the word that I want? A solid conveyance of color. So I'm going to do multiple of this smaller star here, and then I'm going to get the coordinating metal die that is available for purchase as well, and use that to cut them out. And so what I love here is that I have this solid inside that's white, and I saved those, and I have used the innards, so to speak, of these stars on other layouts. And but I've got the outlines, which are perfect for connecting some of these boxes here. So just going to use these dies onto my metal plate. So if you do get these dies, don't forget, do not cut the inside lines there. They look like the connector pieces. They're only slightly thicker, but that's what's holding the shape of the outline of the stars there. So you want to leave those connected. I'm going to run it through a second time so that I get my red star, and then I will be able to attach those to my layout. So all of the product is listed down below in the description box, and then there is an affiliate link if you haven't already purchased these items and are interested in doing so. So again, I'm just trying to get a mix of color throughout the page. So a mix of the different hues of red, or the different hues of blue, and then the red. But as much as I like that grid background, here's where I'm going to add these little bursts of fun to the word fun. And I love how they're kind of poking out from each of the letters there. So super easy to do, small detail, but I think that small detail makes a big difference on your page there. So I'm going to clean those and put them away, and now I'm going to add, with the smaller outline stamp, just some little stars sprinkled in throughout. So all of the stars so far are pretty much red or navy blue. So now I'm going to go in with that lighter sky blue color, the same sky blue or a similar sky blue to what the letters are. And again, some of them are going to be in the gutters of these boxes, which breaks up the rigidity of the grid layout there. So breaking out of the box, right? My series, breaking out of the box. It's not really a series per se, but sort of a running theme in a lot of the layouts that I create here. So because that tabbed pocket is actually a tip out, I put the star just a little bit behind so that it doesn't obstruct the opening there, checking to make sure that nothing's in the way of the opening of that. And then just using the liquid adhesive to adhere these down. And so that is pretty much going to be the finished main sort of content of the layout. Now I'm just going to go in and put some other fun little embellishments. So one of the other options you have this month for the June labels are these fun labels with different smiley faces icons on them, and so I'm going to use that red one there with the heart eyes, and so that photo that I'm putting it on, that is the royal family on the balcony that are waving, and so you really do not need any of the top part of that photo at all. I could have had this go extend a little further into the photo, but I didn't want too much of a boxy feel of that label extending the same length as the columns are, because then it would have added to the boxy feel, and what I'm trying to do really here is break up that boxy feel. So these are the sky blue puffy stickers. So I'm going to put in National Day. And I realized after the fact that not everybody was going to know that this was in Norway and that we were overseas. And so I am going to, off camera, use what are these stamps? These are the Tile Alpha stamps, the small, teeny tiny Tile Alpha stamps. And I'm going to go in with a slightly different blue, a more navy blue, and put in Norway. So the full title you'll see in the close-ups reads Norway National Day, and it's just that little touch. I like that the color ties into the layout and kind of gives you that contrast, but B, it definitely clarifies more of where we are. So I am using some of the stickers from the summer cardstock stickers, and so again, more just for the color. I liked that phrase that says having the best time that's up the top there, and those are the only stickers I'm going to use. I thought I was going to be able to use a few of the die cuts from the actual kit, but a lot of the shapes are either too boxy because I've already got a lot of boxes there, or this heart that doesn't really go with all of the stars that I have scattered along here. So I don't end up using any of the dies from the kit itself, but yes, you can see I've used quite a few of the pocket cards. So one 4x6 card and two of the 3x4 cards. So also available this month is on the add-on are the cool color puffy hearts and stars. So I'm going to use a few of those hearts sprinkled around, again, just to add contrast and color to the layout. And then I'm going to put a few of these stars in the center of those bursts. I like the way it really pops those bursts. And then these are the Cerulean blue. I love this blue color, and I'm going to put May 17th up here. I am also off camera going to use some of the sky blue cardstock basic shape stickers and put an arrow that points to that May 17, and I'm going to use a few more of the shapes, an asterisk next to the star, just again for pops of color that are going to be sprinkled throughout the layout. So that is going to wrap it up, my friends. If you have any questions about how I did this, the product that I use, please don't hesitate to leave them in the box down below. I hope you are having a fun start to your summer. I think summer is well underway in most parts of, well, okay, our side of the hemisphere here. Thanks for stopping in today. I hope you're doing well. Come back again soon. Take care.